Morning YouTube. So in this video today, I want to have a chat with you about something I mentioned in a previous video, and one of the commenters, one of the viewers actually commented saying about if I can give them some more information. So yeah, I will. I don't mind that at all. If you want any sort of things talking about, or ask me any questions, always willing to talk and discuss it in a video. I like to show both sides of the thing, so if I've got something, I won't just, so like with this, and like with any of the additional services I've done, I'll never say it's for you, it's just what's worked for me. I'll never push anybody into something. I'll always say what's worked for me, and it might work for you. But this little service is a bit different because it pretty much is all dependent on this one lady, if I'm being honest with you. So I mentioned in the past video, or I think I've teased it, I have been doing house clearances for this lady. I would not do them for anybody else. If one of my customers asked me, I don't think I would. I wouldn't. Definitely if people approached me from an advert, or say off the back of this video saying hi, no, I wouldn't. It's the situation I've got with this lady works out fine for both of us. It's you'll get what I mean as I go along. So like anything I talk about, I'll give you a bit of a beginning, middle and end. Well, it isn't an end, but you know what I mean. So how did I get into house clearances? So first off, I may as well just tell you why I don't think it's for everybody. I think if you want to do them properly or as efficiently as possible, you need, I think you definitely need a different type of waste carrier's license. As far as I know, so I've got my waste carrier, but it only allows me to take green waste on a commercial basis, or for profit basically. It doesn't allow me to take general waste away, and you'll see why I'll only do it for this lady later, because I don't actually move any of the rubbish myself. And you'll get along as I get along. Another thing is, it's a bit morbid. It's a bit morbid, and you've got to be sort of a bit, not on your guard with people, but you've got to be a bit careful, and you've got to be very professional in whilst you do it. And it's just, as I say, it's just a different layout. If you wanted to do it on if you wanted to be like the big boys who do it, and I'm not, by the way, I think you'd need a tipping trailer, tipping van, tipping pickup, like a tipper van basically, with a big cage. But it depends which route you take for house clearances, really. So I'll start at the beginning. I got a referral from my brother actually. He said his boss's missus runs a solicitor, and she wants the gutters doing. Brilliant. So if you remember a bit back, I did actually say that I did the gutters at a solicitor's, and it said that basically there's going to be more work in the future for me, and they'll keep an eye out. I didn't hear much anything off them actually for a good few months. I did the gutters in January, and about 4 months ago she reached out to me to come and give a price for a garden tidy up for a gentleman that was on her books but still is on the books. Now, I don't ask the ins and outs because I don't need to know it, but as far as I can gather, the solicitor is acting as the executor for the will. This particular chap, he had no family. All the estate is being left to charity, everything. So she has basically got to sort out everything in regards to this property. So first thing on her list, the neighbours were complaining about the garden. So I went and priced up for the garden tidy up, and while we were there, my brother tagged along with me, and she was talking about this, what she's got to do and stuff, getting it all emptied and stuff. And I looked around at it and I thought, you know what, I reckon I could do this. And I said, oh, do you want me to give you a price? She says, yeah, brilliant, if you would. So I gave her a price, and basically she accepted the price and went on from that. And then she said, well, if you're doing the garden, So I gave her a price for the garden, and I gave her a price for the house clearance. Well, I sent her over a price for the house clearance later. I had to have a think about it. And then she said, well, you're not just doing a one-off, you will come and maintain it like once a month. I said, yeah, brilliant. So again, that's led to, so one interaction with one customer has led to the initial gutter clean, but this property now, which needs a good tidy up, so there's a good chunk of money there. It needs emptying and clearing, again another good chunk of money, and then it needs maintaining, so then there's like a monthly wage from it until it's sold. And I went away, and my brother actually, I could see, for one, when I said about clearing it, he rolled his eyes. He's like, hey up, what's he doing? And then when I went away and thought about it, I thought, right, so pricing house clearance, I can't tell you how to price it. I'll tell you how I priced it though. I looked around, so I made sure I took a load of pictures while I was there, and I'd look around and I thought, right, how long do I think this is going to take me in man hours? What we agreed was the customer's going to provide skips for basically what can't be given away or donated. So the skip is going to basically come and just, it's going to be on the site, and then the waste, no waste has been taken away, it's all been disposed of on the site through a skip, which is, a registered recycling place. It's all what it needs to be. Brilliant. So we did all that, told about that, and she said that's fine, skips are fine. So then I basically priced it up as, I think it's going to take me 20 hours, 30 hours, 40, you know what I mean? I priced it up as that basically, and she was happy with it. She was happy with the price. So then I actually got stuck into doing it. We did the garden first, got the place looking nice, spick and span. I noticed one of the gutters was overflowing, it hasn't been emptied, the windows were dirty, so I said, do you want me to give the property a clean, basically give the windows a clean and clean the gutters out so it's ready for sale? She says, yep. So that was done at an additional time and date later on. So then we did that, but the house clearance itself, and I don't know enough about the industry to say, but there's some people which will come and they will take everything away, and it's a for-profit thing, so they will basically try and sell everything they can. That's how they recoup their money. They might give you a cost, or I've seen other places where they'll come and they'll buy a house, so they'll buy the contents, so they'll come in and they'll say, right, you'll just look at everything and think, right, this is £20, 35 million, whatever. I spoke to somebody who does house clearances, and they are for them it's a passion project. So what they do is they go in and they basically empty it all by hand, but they take everything to donation points, churches, women's refuges. So while I was speaking to them, I got some numbers. So for me, I didn't want to just hoist somebody's life into a skip. So what I did was I made sure that the furniture, anything that could have a second life, went off to basically have a second life. So, British Art Foundation, women's church, women's refuges, churches, anybody that can come and have it. I must have rung about 20 different groups, and I can tell you this for a fact, it's hard to give stuff away for free. I am not speaking ill of charities. I honestly thought people would snap their hands off it, but no, we're a bit fussy on what we have. Could you send over item lists? We need pictures, we need serial numbers off everything, we need code, they wanted to know everything. So, quickly the pile went down. But I managed to get, as I said, as much of it as I could to a second home. Obviously there's items that it is skip filler, old medicines, clothing, even there's some places that won't accept certain clothing. The couches, they didn't have any fire labels on, so they had to go. Even trying to give them away on like Facebook Marketplace proved extremely difficult. Again, giving something away for free. I live in Manchester. Could you come and would you deliver it, meet halfway? No. You know, we're trying to give it away. We're just, you know, we're trying to give everything a second life. We're not trying to cash in. I'm happy with the wage I've got. It's just giving stuff away. It's really bloody hard. You wouldn't believe it. You know, would you deliver it? No. Just come and get it. Would you meet us halfway? No. So in the end, we did it. And basically what's happened is we completed it. Now, this is helping me push the business in the direction I want to be. So one of the things that I was for this lady, and hopefully still am, is I'm the bloke who makes her life easier. So I come in, price up the house clearance. So all she needs to do is, well, basically pay for things. So I arrange for the skips to be there. I arrange for the charity shops. I arrange for people to come and take stuff. I do the gardens. I look after the gardens. I look after the exterior of the property. I clean the property afterwards, so it just doesn't just get a clear, you know, it gets good tidy up after. It says basically everything I can do to get the property ready, and then all she has to do is get the estate agents and valuers come. It's ready for photos because it's nice and tidy, and that's what I try and do, and that's what I'm hoping by doing that it makes me look valuable to her. Because previously, because she said she's had companies where she had to get a company to do this, a gardener to do that, someone to do this, and then, you know, one of the links has fallen through, one just didn't turn up, or someone's let her down. But she says, well, we like it because you basically take care of everything. I do. I just send her an email when I need to, or a weekly email, basically catching up to speed, saying this is done, we need this off you, you know, we need this key, whatever. And it's just simple, easy and professional. So that was one house clearance done. Second house clearance, again, it come along. This time round, it needed, the gutters were just solid grass, so they needed cleaning out. The place had been left empty for a few years. I won't go into details, and that's another thing why I've not talked about this too much, because it's not intimate, but it's by the nature of it. So like the first one, the neighbours were very nosy. They wanted to know, and that's another thing that taught me a lot about people. People coming up, they were trying to get things for free. Say, oh, I think I left something in his house, can I come and check? Oh, I left something in his shed, can I? And this was all different people. Some people some people coming up and saying, oh, I really miss such and such. We used to split stuff, can I go and get my half? People coming up. The best one was one bloke. He come up, he said, oh, I won't give a sex because I want to keep it. They've let it go to rack and ruin, haven't they? I said, well, they have passed away. Yeah, well, once you thought they'd have had something in line to sort it out. You know, blaming a dead person. I says, don't worry. I says, the garden's being commenced next week, and it's going to be kept on top of for the foreseeable future until it gets new tenants. So again, that teaches you what some people are like. It just made me chuckle in the end, it really did. So that's the first house clearance. No problems, no issues. All the rubbish was contained on the site. The site was left, well, it was left perfect. Second one, much of the same. I've completed that today. As I said, it is morbid because you are seen behind the curtains, you know. You're seeing everything. Can you imagine if you disappeared from your house, what people would find or see? You know, we see everything. So I try and go about it in the most professional manner. Anything personal, because unfortunately, and this is a sad thing, you know, when someone passes away and there's no friends or family there, what do you do with photo albums? You know, somebody's 60-70 years of photo albums and memories, you know. Well, they have to go in the bin. What do you, there's nothing you can do with them. Maybe you could recycle the paper. So I try and do everything as professional. So everything got black bagged. Nothing was there, people could see anything, you know. So that's the level of service that I try and provide. I try and be as professional and as courteous as possible, and also give everything a second life as best as I can. The second one, we actually managed to do more of it with that. which it does make me happy actually. But the point of it is it's helped my business, because what it's doing is, for me anyway, is it's helped me generate revenue from the initial gardening, and also the house clearances itself, and also the aftercare, as in going and looking after the property, you know, keeping on top of it for them. So I am very, again, happy with it. Now, one thing I want to sort of point out is that the solicitor person in charge, when I invoiced for the first house clearance, they actually said to me, "Luke, this price is too low. We've had other companies and they're double. So you need to, if you want to keep doing it for us, and you want to keep you want to do this, and you need to get something out of it, you need to be where everybody else is at." And I found that really nice, because she could have said nothing and I would have carried on, you know, with that pricing structure. Even though I was making money, you know, I could have carried on down that route and potentially, you know, dug a hole. Well, not dug a hole, but you know what I mean. I could have been earning more. So I was very grateful for that, if I'm being honest with you. So what is the benefits of it being to my business? The biggest benefit is not only the basically one customer leading to 3 separate jobs, 3 separate bills. It's also the regular income, so until it's sold it's got to be maintained, so that's good. And at the moment the property market's a little bit slow around where I am, so a bit grateful for that. Again, it's even winter work, it still needs to be maintained, it still needs to have its eye kept on it. So again, it's work. The biggest one though was the weather. We've had so much bad weather, but for this there's no sort of set time frame other than to get it done as soon as possible, really. So I, especially before whatever storm before Storm Barrett, when we had all that rain, the first house clearance was brilliant, because I would go up there and do a few hours, bag stuff up, you know, dispose of stuff, calling people, meeting people. It's all basically billable hours, it's all work that I can be, you know, putting a bill in for. But it meant that when I was probably wouldn't have worked in it because it was too wet, well, actually I was working in it and I was having a good time, and I was, you know, earning money for the business. So I am very grateful for it actually, and I'm grateful for new opportunities. The point of this video, it isn't necessarily to get you doing house clearances, because I wouldn't recommend it. If I was to do, and this is the thing with them, this is not set in stone for me. This might be the last one I do forever, because it's, the lady herself says that she can have 1 a year, none a year, and then she can have 6 or 7, and then nothing for a bit. So for me, I can't put money into something, so I can't say to myself, right, I'm going to get me new waste carrier, I'm going to update my waste carrier so I can take this. I'm going to get a, you know, 16-foot cage trailer which I can tow with my van for tip runs, you know, a 16-foot tipper trailer if that exists. Or you know what, I might change and get a tipper van with a big gorilla cage on the back. I can't make that investment because it's not set in stone. So this is why I need to work in the confines of what I've got, and also work for this lady, because I know other people, they might not be lenient, or it might be different. It might be a case of, well, they're looking at someone who just wants it cleared as quickly as possible. They might not want to get skips, they might want to, you know, you get it all, whatever, I don't know. So how it is at the moment, I'm happy with everything. As I said, point of this video is, one, you don't know where work will lead to. That one job for that gutter clean has led to 2 jobs where it's been, I don't like talking about money, but it's been very, very, very financially worthwhile. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it leads to more work down the line. So what I'll probably do is do a little bit of a breakdown at the end of the year, because I'm interested to see, you know, which percentages bring in, you know, money. So I am very sort of happy with it. As I said, I did want to tell you a little bit more. If you've got any suggestions, drop them in. I think I've got it as streamlined as I can. There's always better ways, there's always worse ways, but let me know if you'd take it on. If you got offered it, would you take it on? It definitely was putting me out of my comfort zone at the start, especially when you look at the volume of stuff and the stuff that needs doing. You know, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of organising as well. So for me, I had to make myself available for when people come in to look at furniture and take furniture. Luckily, it was only about a 20-minute drive or 15-minute drive from my house, not far. But you know, you've got to factor that in. It's all billable time. If I'm taking an hour out of my day to go here, you know, it's got to be worth it for me. So I hope this video's helped you out, guys. If not, it's just a little bit more that what goes into my life and my business. So have a good day, guys. Keep on gardening.